Vince McMahon hid claims against him by paying out money in silence, like a lot of money. That's what the Wall Street Journal alleged on June 15th, when the board of World Wrestling Entertainment and the secret $3 million settlement with whom he allegedly had an affair, according to docs and people familiar with the board inquiry, posted. So he stepped aside as CEO, which is no bigs, because you know who took his place? That would be Stephanie McMahon, Vince's daughter. Lovely how that works out, right? Then we learn more. The Wall Street Journal, in a separate piece, wrote of the separation agreement. It appears McMahon had the former employee sign an NDA. She was a paralegal with the company. What's noteworthy is this is recent. These were signed in January 2022. The board's outside counsel also unearthed other older NDAs involving claims by former female WWE employees of misconduct by Mr. McMahon and one of his top executives, John Laurinaitis, the head of talent relations at WWE, according to the people that spoke with the Wall Street Journal. The Journal couldn't determine how many previous agreements were being scrutinized. What's important to note is McMahon allegedly used personal funds, but, and this is a big one, a spokesman for the company that reported over $1 billion in revenue last year said the relationship was consensual. Now, before I go to this next piece of information, let me make this very quick and also very concise and clear. Think about a spokesperson for a $1 billion company, like you just heard, as if it were a police statement. Take it with a grain of salt, because all they're doing is protecting the brand at all costs. Today we learned there were payouts to not just a single woman, but 4 women. The Wall Street Journal's reporting says they all signed NDAs to prevent legal precedent against McMahon. The allegations against McMahon are serious. A former wrestler received a settlement of $7.5 million. She alleged McMahon coerced her into giving him, and you see the allegation, then demoted her and ultimately declined to renew her contract in 2005 after she resisted further sexual encounters, according to people familiar with the matter. Then the payout came. McMahon paid another $1 million after a former WWE contractor showed what she had received from him, unsolicited nude photos. She also alleged he essayed her. In 2008, an NDA was signed. Then in 2006, a former employee of 10 years alleged McMahon initiated a sexual relationship with her. He paid her, per WSJ, $1 million to keep quiet about it, according to people familiar with the deal. On top of this, the board also was investigating allegations that WWE executive Laurinaitis had a sexual relationship with the same former paralegal, according to people familiar with the inquiry. Additionally, the board is looking at a $1.5 million NDA reached in 2012 with an employee involving misconduct claims against Laurinaitis, these people said. Unfortunately, for McMahon, there is a repeated history. And just like the former president, there were many opportunities to stop them in their tracks, and no one intervened. A Boca Raton tanning salon employee accused McMahon of trying to kiss and grope her after a bronzing session in January 2006, according to police documents the Daily Beast posted at the time. McMahon allegedly tried to show the 22-year-old tanning salon employee his nude and semi-nude pictures on his phone. The woman told McMahon, then 60, to stop, and the tycoon tanned himself. Afterward, the woman claims McMahon attempted to kiss and fondle her before she could get out of the room. In the end, Florida state prosecutors failed to respond to the moment, and McMahon was never charged. Longtime wrestling journalist David Bixenspan wrote via the Daily Beast that the cops felt there was probably cause to believe he did it. Bixenspan did some digging and found the records and files from this time period were destroyed pursuant to a Florida state penal code in the General Records Schedule GS9 for state attorneys. So Bixenspan filed a records request and got in touch with the witness, whose name is William Robert Wells, and he spoke with Bixenspan. The tanning attendant came in crying, and we knew it was Vince McMahon walking out, and she asked me if it would be fine if I came in the store until the cops came, Wells said, adding that he also obliged her request to bring a baseball bat. I don't know what a baseball bat's going to do to someone like this, but okay. I said I'll bring one with me because, hey, I'm only 17 years old at the time. As Wells and the alleged victim waited for the police with the door locked, Wells said that McMahon sat in his car staring them down for a good 45 minutes after turning his car around to face the store, eventually leaving just a few minutes before the police showed up. There is a troubling pattern here with McMahon running his business. To busting unions, demanding wrestlers be trotted out in blackface, writing a script mocking The tanning salon incident and allegations, though the WWE says it was just coincidence. Dr. Zahorian and steroids, playing up racial stereotypes, using the N-word, Vince did, on a broadcast, taking zero responsibility for countless deaths of wrestlers on his roster, covering for Hulk Hogan, selling t-shirts that had blackface on it, playing up racist stereotypes in the writing, which, by the way, if you watch the E60 on the WWE, Vince is a humongous part of the creative process, including being in the writer's room. The xenophobia, the racism, the bigotry, the tropes that they mandated different wrestlers who come from different backgrounds play up. I mean, the list goes on and on. Vince McMahon is terrible, and we all know it.